read you a story. 1 second. Today I'm going to read you a story called The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was his eye. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen me how wisely I proceeded. With what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned to the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. Hello there. How are you? Hello, Dixon. Hello, Shamima. I don't know how I can help you. I'm just reading a story. Hi, Liam Paz. I'm reading a story by Edgar Allan Poe. Hello, MJK. It's called The Telltale Heart. And every night about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh so gently. And then when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put a dark lantern, all closed, so that no light shone out. Then I thrust in my head. Yes, that's true, funny, insightful. Where is my home? It's in Brighton. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening, so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. How would a madman have been so wise as this? And then when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Thank you, MJK. Cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night at just midnight. But I found the eye always closed, so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me by his evil eye. Thank you, Jesus, real God. I'm just reading a story by Edgar Allan Poe. And every morning, when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. No, I don't know Bangladesh. Sorry about that. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than it did mine. Never before that sagacity. What? Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my own sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I am, opening the door little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I am from Brighton. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch, with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed, fastened through fear of robbers, and so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on, steadily, steadily. I'm reading a story by Edgar Allan Poe called The Telltale Heart. I had my head in and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening, and the old man sprang up in the bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed, listening, just as I have done night after night, hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently I heard a slight groan. I knew it was the groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or of grief. Oh no. It was the low stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it was welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that distracted me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt and pitied him. Although I chuckled at heart, I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. When he had turned in his bed, his fears had been ever growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It is only a mouse crossing the floor, or it is merely a cricket which has made a single chirp." Yes, he has been trying to comfort himself with these suppositions, but he had found all in vain, because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim, and it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a single dim ray, like the thread of the spider, shot from the crevice and fell upon the vulture eye. I have quite a few books that I love to read. I don't think I have one favorite book. I like Deborah Harkness and her books. I like Stephen King, and I like Edgar Allan Poe. I like Stephen Kuntz. I have been getting into some fiction. I've got hot chocolate. One inspirational book. Do you like fiction or do you like non-fiction? Maybe try the Celestine Prophecies or non-fiction. I don't know if this is actually came out in a book, but there's the story of a boxer from a long time ago. His name was Hurricane. There's a film with the same name called Hurricane. He was put in prison for killing 3 people, but he didn't do it. So he went to prison for 22 years before he was released. It's an old film, but it's really good to watch. Non-fiction. You know what's interesting? It's more like a business book, but it's a book called, oh, I forgot the title, but it's about the story of Walmart and how it started. Or you know what? I'll put some suggestions in the comments. It's hard to think of some on the spot. Or do you know Helen Keller? Her story is really inspirational. Yeah, that's right. Hi Tracy, I've missed you. Drinking hot chocolate, and I've been reading a story by Edgar Allan Poe called The Telltale Heart, but I've been answering some questions. I'm glad you're here. It's really good, isn't it? Have you read the book by Sam Walton about Walmart? It's a non-fiction book. It's pretty good. Yeah, but I love the cover. I had probably 2 books by Edgar Allan Poe. I only repurchased this because of the cover. I hope Michelle and everyone's doing well. I did read that book, yeah. I did read that. That is an inspirational too. Which one? Was it because there's a couple that are a bit creepy, aren't there? There's the House of the... Oh wait, the Phantom Heart. I think it's the cat. Is it the cat that was eating the old man's eye? I can't remember. It's been a while. That's why I decided to read this book. I really love Dracula. The guy hid the body of the old man with the funky eye under his bed. Yes, you're right. You're right. He did. Yes. Oh, I remember now. Yes, for sure. Maybe it's good that I stopped reading it. It always creeps me out. I always have to run and jump on my bed ever since I was a kid for all the horror films. I think when I got to 50 subscribers, it let me go live on my laptop, and then at some point, I was able to go live on my phone. I just kept checking if I could go live on my phone, and then yeah, I think when I got to 50 subscribers, I think it also wants you to get a certain number of views, but I don't remember. I'm sure you'll get there quickly. Yeah, I'll check them out and I'll let you know what I think. Oh, it was great to see you again, Tracy. You have a good day too. I'm going to, I might make some popcorn and watch a movie. I hope you have a good day too. Take care. See you later.